out of here, boy. The following content may contain truths that may or may not but hurt the audience. If the shoe fits, word I say, viewer discretion is advised.
What's up, ladies and gents? I'm your boy Antican, and welcome back to the channel. Now, we got to touch on this subject, right? Black Ops 7 beta has been out for about a week now, I want to say. And there's some good takes and some bad takes, right? But the one thing that we could be sure of is that us as the collective player base, we had a lot to say. And in today's video, Nadeshot had something to say. A message to those, the naysayers, the ones with the woes, the ones that want to live in the past, the blues. I call it the old head blues when it comes to Call of Duty. So he has something to say about that. But before we watch this video, ladies and gents, and I react to it, pass by the channel, drop a like, a comment, and subscribe. It helps me grow, and it helps this channel grow. So, what are you doing? So, this was posted by Modern Warzone, and he prompts a good question here. It's a legit statement in regards to the culture in Call of Duty. And he said this, right? He said, "It's so sad that anytime anyone tries to post a clip they're proud of, everyone tries to detract from it and list as many reasons as possible for why the clip is invalid. Those same people wonder why people toolbox or VPN when they will accuse us of doing it anyways, even if we don't." Okay. So he's talking about the playlist that Treyarch added. Apparently they convinced Activision to, take away skill-based matchmaking. So he's talking about that and the sweaty players or people or lack thereof, right? Because that's what's going on now. Skill-based matchmaking was taken off and some people liked it and some people didn't. But we're going to react to Nadeshot's video, and then I'm going to give my take and say something more internal about this whole situation about skill-based matchmaking. So let's just watch this.
About these Call of Duty clips that I'm uploading, all right? Listen, they dropped a new playlist, the open playlist with significantly reduced skill-based matchmaking, all right? And let me spit some game for all of you young bucks who didn't get to play a lot of the OG CODs before skill-based matchmaking existed. Some games you're going to play against a wide variety of players. It might be one or two good, really demons on the other team, and the rest seem like they're lagging out. Sometimes you're playing against a team full of sweats that don't get off the game, and it's infuriating. I get that. But with this open playlist, I just played for 10 hours straight with Tin to Tatman, Scump, Methods, all these guys. We had lobbies where we felt like we were team scrimming, but then we also had lobbies where these guys didn't know left from right, okay? You too can do this, all right? You can jump into the open playlist, and you can find a Call of Duty experience that we used to have, or at least as close to what we used to have from many, 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 many years ago, all right? So if I see one more comment about these bot lobbies, and these clips are awful because you're playing against people that aren't even playing the game, aren't conscious, living, breathing human beings, I'm going to fucking lose it, all right? And let me tell you something else. If you're
He's making good points here.
You still think that all you're playing against are tryhard sweats, I got a dose of reality that you're not going to like. You might be shit at the game, all right? I'm sorry.
That's the bottom line.
But I had to say it. Somebody's got to say it.
You're not wrong, man.
I appreciate it, gentlemen. Now leave my clips alone. I'm proud of them.
Look. And that is the bottom line. And the bottom line is exactly that. There's this narrative going around that it seems like certain people they think that everything is internal. Now, I'm gonna make a case for the people that think that it is something internal, and that is that they took away skill based matchmaking, but they did not take away uh engagement optimization matchmaking, which is what manipulates the lobbies, right? So if people don't know what that is, it's a manipulation in the within the lobby, depending on different criterias that you meet. For example, let's use a small sample, and the small sample would be 5 games. You go through the lobby with 5 games, and in those 5 games, let's say you win every of those matches with a high KD, and you have a winning streak going, and then you end up in a lobby with somebody who has a 5 game losing streak and a bad KD. Well, what happens is with engagement optimization matchmaking is that the player who has a bad streak going and a horrible KD is going to get a faster time TTK wise, and that can be detrimental for somebody who's a great player and has to work for his kills or her kills in that sense, right? So that's the context here. What I'm trying to make people understand that there's still manipulation. Like they took away skill based matchmaking. That's great, but that's not the issue. The issue is what happens within the game itself. What Treyarch and Activision manipulate to keep casual players playing. But did Activision and Treyarch take a good step forward by taking away skill-based matchmaking? Maybe. Did it satisfy a lot of people? Probably. It didn't convince me because I know that matchmaking never had to do with the skill base as much as what they were manipulating within the game itself, the match. So I was finding faster matches. I was. Literally, as soon as I was quebbing up, finding a match. Because what happens is when you take skill base off, you're matchmaking with ping, only with ping. And I had a low ping, so I was watching. I'm literally finding matches literally a click of the finger, right? A snap of the finger. But I've noticed some type of manipulation. Now, I can't confirm it is true. I would probably have to do, like, if they keep these playlists just like this at launch, because this is how the only way this is going to work. Even if you remove skill-based matchmaking, the engagement optimization matchmaking is taking over. And for the people who are casual players and don't play well for that very reason, because they're casual, they don't take it serious, and everything else that the game offers. The TTK time gets cut down. And I know people are going to be like, really? But how else will they manipulate the game if it's not skill-based damage? That's the real question. And I agree with Nadeshot with what he said. You have to be a better player, because not everybody is like a tryhard. They just understand positioning and awareness, which is the two key things for first-person shooters, PvP-wise. It's always been like that. I don't understand why people make it seem like it's like something that is not known, but it is known. People know this to be true. And a lot of people just fail to understand that part. So I get why he said, like, look, if you're shit, well, that's on you. Maybe learn how to play and improve a little bit. But there is something internal about what's been happening because they took away skill-based matchmaking for this playlist, right? And we can't ignore that either. But in an overall take, and I'll leave it up to you guys to come up with your own conclusion to this. But hypothetically speaking, skill-based matchmaking has never been the problem. I'm okay with facing people the same skill as me. And I'm also okay if it didn't have skill-based. Because skill-based is not the problem, because skill-based matchmaking is based upon who you end up facing in that lobby. Engagement optimization matchmaking is based on what happens once you're in the lobby, depending on the criteria that I mentioned earlier, which is if it's a small sample of 5 games, how many of those games you won, what was your KD, and then once you're in that game against somebody who is the opposite of that criteria of if they won, how many games did they win, what was their KD during that sample, that's how engagement optimizations matchmaking is determined. And that is manipulation to the highest form. Skill-based matchmaking is not completely a manipulation to anything. It's just placing you in a lobby with the same skill base that you are. But skill damage is at work here still. And people think that it's saved. But back to what Nadeshot was saying again, some people just need to get better. I'm peaking 40. I'm an OG just like Nadeshot, Scum, Heck, and all these guys, Methods. I'm peaking 40. I can't necessarily hang with this new movement and all that shit, but I can still use my awareness and positioning. I might not get the 2.0 KD anymore, but I peak at 1.7, 1.8, which it's good for me. But at least I understand what a first-person shooter is supposed to be, which is the 2 things I mentioned. So some of you that complain about it and say, oh, this and that, you also got to improve in the game. Or there's another option, Battlefield 6. But let's be honest, they have no skill-based matchmaking. But who's to say that the lobbies itself aren't being manipulated in some way, right? Skill-based damage. So it's going to be yet to be determined. And we will see. But ladies and gents, let me know down in the comment section. You agree with Nadeshot that some people just need to just stop it? And with modern Warzone specifically saying, like, you guys are just finding different ways to hate on the game. There are internal things that I always call out Activision and Treyarch for, but never the game itself. So let me know down in the comment section what you guys think and what you guys believe. You think that there's some type of manipulation going because they took away skill-based matchmaking and in engagement optimization matchmaking is at play? Let me know down in the comment section. I'm your boy Antican. You know what to do. And as always, thank you. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Because let's be honest, this mother is super desperate. And he has nobody. So please, act this mother.